everyone, I wish I could have brought all of you with me to Taos. I could not do that, but I do have a virtual roundup here. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to go, if you want some ideas of where to stay, where to eat, activities, what to wear, this is the video for you. I'm gonna do a full recap of our vacation. I'm gonna give you all the details here, and I'm gonna make sure that they're all listed down in the description box and pinned to the top of the comments. And if you wanna see more of a vlog style of what I got up to that whole week, I do have this saved as a highlight on my Instagram profile, and I'll put the link to that down in the description box and the comments as well. Now, before we take a little virtual trip over to Taos, I do have a big favor to ask you. I have been nominated for an LTK Creator Award as a Beauty All-Star, and the voting is still going on. If you're watching this the day the video goes live, Thursday, September 14th or Friday, September 15th, those are the last 2 days you can get your vote in. If you've already voted, thank you. I would love it if you haven't yet done so, to please just hop over to the LTK app. It is free to download, and I'll put the link to that too down in the description box. Go to my page, I'll put the direct link to that. My name there is Miss Gold Girl, just like it is on YouTube and Instagram. And all you need to do to vote is to scroll down to my posts. They look a lot like an Instagram feed, and just tap on the lower right-hand corner, the little heart. That's your way to favorite it. Just favorite at least 5 of those posts. That's a vote. So thank you very much. I feel like we are all nominated for this award because while I am among some amazing women, all of them are incredibly talented. They are powerhouses in their field. One of them is my very, very dear friend, Lisa J Makeup. So if you're going over there, go vote for her too. I am the only one who's 50 or older, and I feel like I'm there representing all of us. So again, thank you. This is a huge honor. It's also a lot of fun. And now I want to take you over to Taos. So again, like I said, all the information will be listed in the description box. I'll pin it to the comments with not just all my outfits. Of course, that is a big focus, but just all the things. And if I leave something out and you have a question, again, do not hesitate to ask, and I will answer as best as I can. So day one was just a travel day. So we did fly, not from San Antonio, just a little travel tip. We initially had booked our flights on Southwest from San Antonio to Albuquerque, and there's no direct flight, so I think we were going through maybe Dallas and then on to Albuquerque. It was making me a little nervous because it was late summer and I've been hearing a lot of horror stories about flights getting diverted, delayed, luggage getting lost, so you have a better shot of getting to your destination if you're flying direct. The Austin airport is a little over an hour away from our house. Anyway, just a little tip, if you can do a direct flight, sometimes it's gonna cost you more, but it might save you a lot of agony, missing a flight, losing your luggage, and so forth. We flew out of Austin to Albuquerque, and then we rented a car. We were gonna rent a car anyway, so we drove from Albuquerque up to Taos. But let's get back to the outfit. So I like to dress in layers all the time, but especially when I'm traveling. I have worn this travel outfit as a travel outfit. I cannot even tell you how many times everyone wears this travel outfit. It's the sleeveless, kind of chunky sweater set that is the inspired version from, no, I should say it's Free People inspired. And the funny thing is, sitting in the Austin airport waiting for our flight, I saw maybe 3 other women wearing my same outfit. We all were like, I see you. So that was kind of fun. I did want to layer, so I love this denim jacket. I've had this for a little over a year, but I never talk about this jacket, so now I'm going to. It's from the brand called Able, and the nice thing about this jacket is it comes basically broken in. It's super soft and cozy. It's easy to drape over your shoulders or to wear like a real jacket or even tie around your waist. I'm just gonna call them what they are. My fake Birkenstocks, they're from Amazon, super comfortable, but they do set off the TSA alert. So I have the TSA pre-check, and the benefit of that is you don't have to take your shoes off going through security unless you ding the sensor. So the metal buckles on that made it go off, and now I'm walking barefoot on the airport ground. So that was kind of gross. So my suggestion is, even though sandals and slip-ons are super comfortable, maybe you want to wear something that you can wear socks with. I also have to talk about my newest carry-on bag. I've mentioned this a few times. I love MC Wallace bags. They are a higher end bag. They're not designer or luxury, but they are a little bit of a higher price point. And it's sort of a duffel style. It has the luggage sleeve. It has a crossbody strap and handles and more pockets than I knew what to do with. And the reason I bought this one specifically is it fit my 16-inch laptop, because I'd love to say I went on a full vacation, but I didn't. I worked while I was in Taos, and I'm not complaining, because what a place to sit and get work done. And then that evening we went to Doc Martens, which is sort of like an iconic spot at the Taos Inn on the main drag in Taos, and it was okay. The coolest thing though is that they had sort of a monsoon storm, and the most beautiful rainbow I have ever seen in my life broke out. The waitstaff came running into the main dining room, and so we all had to go outside and look. It was stunning. So that was our welcome to Taos. I realized I didn't mention where we stayed. So we stayed at a hotel resort called El Monte Sagrado. It is walking distance from the center of town. It's a beautiful property. It's the kind of place where if you just want to chill and stay in one place, you very much can just stay there, kind of chill in and around Taos and not do anything of any kind of exertion. It has a spa, it has an indoor pool, they have yoga, beautiful walking trails. It is a very serene and tranquil place, and the rooms were beautiful. I definitely would recommend staying there. It was a nice place to come back to at the end of every day. But for some reason, we decided to get our outward bound on. And if you don't know by now, I am not an outdoorsy girl. I don't love to exercise. I don't like to sweat. So this entire vacation was out of my comfort zone. So day 2, and I should say my husband planned this entire trip down to basically the minute. He's very much a planner. He loves this stuff. We decided to do something called driving the Enchanted Circle. There are a bunch of small towns. You just do this big loop. The scenery is stunning, and each little town has something interesting to look at or do or whatever. We went from Taos to Cuesta. I want to call it Cuesta, but they call it like Cuesta, or I don't know how the New Mexicans pronounce it. And then we went to Red River, and then Eagle Nest, and then Angel Fire, and then back down to Taos. We just randomly drove past this beautiful lake on the first leg of our trip, so we pulled in, there's a parking lot, it's like a state park or something, walked a little trail, saw a waterfall, saw a stream. I mean, you see that everywhere you go in New Mexico. The skies are beautiful, the scenery in Taos. People think New Mexico, they think desert. Taos is more like high desert alpine forest. It's in the mountains. It's very high altitude. We will get back to that momentarily. No desert, no cactus, nothing like that. It's all very similar to what Colorado looks like. We went to a farmer's market in Angel Fire. Of course, we found a golf course. We went to the Angel Fire Country Club, had lunch at their pro shop, sat outside, watched the golfers, looked at the mountains. I mean, it was just absolutely stunning. I had dressed that day with the intention of going on a hike. So what I am wearing are layers, and I will list all the specifics down in the description box. I don't need to walk you through this entire outfit. I don't want to bore you any more than I probably already am. But definitely the key to late summer, early fall in New Mexico, at least in Taos, is dress in layers, because the days can start in the 50s, get up to the 80s, and drop back down to the low 50s again. And for someone coming from over 100-degree heat every day, 50 degrees is freezing. Even 80 degrees, I could wear a sweatshirt. So definitely dress in layers. The purse I wore for almost every single day of the trip was also from MZ Wallace. It's a crossbody bag. I think it's called the Small Bowery. I specifically picked this one to carry because it has the crossbody strap and it's a nylon material, so it's great for activity type stuff, but it also has a really cute little leather color covered chain that you can carry it by that makes it a little more elegant looking. And I think if you picked it up in black, you could totally pass this off as an evening bag. The hiking we had intended on doing was after we did the whole circle and we had lunch, we came back down towards Taos and we went to the Rio Grande Gorge. This thing is basically a slightly smaller version of the Grand Canyon. It's hard to describe unless you are standing there, but it is hundreds of feet down, and if you're someone who doesn't like heights or you're afraid of falling, this isn't going to be your favorite activity. Michael and I were very optimistic in thinking that we were going to do this hike kind of along the side of it, and once we pulled up into the visitor center and saw just like, it was a no. But if you want to just kind of go over there and see it, there is a visitor center, there's a parking lot, they have bathrooms, and then there's a way for you to get down to the street where this bridge is, and there's actually a pedestrian sidewalk that spans both sides, and there were plenty of people walking across it. I am someone who, I'm okay with heights, but it's the falling part that gets to me. And I mean, this is a bridge that, I mean, the railing is just, you know, a little about waist height, so it's a long way down. I did walk out a little bit to take an outfit pic for you guys, and then gripping the handle, Michael and I made our way back to the parking lot. We just decided we are not that brave. After having spent one night in Taos, which I think it's over 7,000 feet, I started to really feel the altitude sickness. And I have never experienced altitude sickness before. I've been to Colorado several times. I've been up in the mountains in Vermont. I don't know where it came from, but it hit me hard the whole first half of the trip. So our first nice dinner, we went to a place called Lambert's. It's off the main drag. It's near the John Dunn shops. It's beautiful. The nice thing about Taos is everything is very chill there. So I showed up in a sweater and jeans, did not feel out of place. There were some women in some very, very casual kind of sundresses. While the cuisine is a little more fine dining, definitely fine dining. The atmosphere, I mean, I wouldn't roll in shorts and a t-shirt, but you don't need to get dressed to go there. We were lucky. We didn't need reservations. We'd lucked out with a table, but I would say for somewhere like Lambert's, especially as you get farther into the weekend, you definitely need reservations. I was at this point getting a headache and I felt extremely nauseous. So the cocktail that I posted is a mocktail. It was blueberry and I think ginger ale or ginger beer. So I ended up boxing up my dinner and taking it back to the hotel room because it was not great. Day 3 was another hike, and Michael somehow got it in his head that this was a very beginner-friendly hike that he had found. It was, I don't know, 2 miles or less from our hotel. It was really easy to get to the trailhead. After this entire experience, and I looked it up, it's listed as a moderate to intermediate or not quite difficult, but not beginner level hike. So it's called the DEVISADERO Trail, and it's a beautiful trail. But if you are not an experienced hiker, or more importantly, you are suffering from altitude sickness, don't do this one. There's other places to go. We did not make it to the very top. I just could not breathe, and I felt like I was gonna throw up all over the side of the mountain. So again, dressed in layers, and the stars of the show were definitely my new On Cloud sneakers. I've had the same pair of sneakers for years, so I finally got a new pair, and I love mine. They are the shade called Undyed, and as far as sizing goes, I can wear a 6.5 or a 7 depending on the brand. If you're like me, you'll go with the half size higher. So just get either your true size or half a size up. So I got a size 7 and they fit beautifully. And a lot of you are asking me, how are they still white? I wasn't traipsing through like mud or off of a trail. I was on trails, so they stayed white through the whole trip. So the hike was a little bit of a bust. We went back to the hotel and I changed into seriously comfy clothes. Spanx Air Essentials has released some of their classic pieces in new fall colors, and I got the new spruce shade. It's like a dark green. Perfect if you're lounging around an alpine forest. We got back in the car and we drove up to the Taos Ski Valley, and this is where I went horribly wrong, because the Taos Ski Valley, the base of it sits at 9,400 feet. And that's when I really went over the edge on the altitude sickness. It's a beautiful place. It's an easy drive. The drive up there is absolutely worth getting sick. It's that gorgeous. Little 2-lane windy roads. There's a river running along the side of the road. It is unbelievable. There are a bunch of little shops and restaurants. Just a word of warning, this is kind of considered the in-between season. It's not high summer and it's not ski season. So a lot of places are closed or only open towards the latter half of the week. They have a smaller outpost of a kind of high-end grocery chain there called Sid's. So we picked up some lunch to go, took it outside and had a little bit of a picnic in their outdoor eating area in the Taos Ski Valley. And it was just beautiful. And we sat and we just chilled. I actually got some work done up there. They have Wi-Fi throughout, which was kind of nice. And then we just went back to the hotel and we just chilled back at the hotel. Brought home some stuff actually from Sid's and just ate in our room that night because I was really not feeling great. Day 4, if you have a golfer in your party, there is golf. Taos Country Club is a bit of a misnomer. It's open to the public. You just need a tee time. So this was Michael's day to play golf. First, we went to have breakfast at the Ben Street Diner, which I highly recommend. It's just a fun breakfast spot. A lot of you told me to go check out Michael's. We never did get an opportunity to do that. Mornings were really rough for me as the week went on, but I think Ben Street Diner was fabulous. And I really like the location. If you want to sit outside, it's a little pedestrian shopping area with tons of flower baskets, and just the sightseeing and the people watching is really nice. So I recommend Ben Street Diner. Went with something really comfy to wear that morning because I just was not feeling 100%, but then I changed because you know me, gotta get that outfit pick in. So I found this really cute tennis dress that I wanna talk about. I found it on Amazon. I love the idea of a tennis dress, but I will admit, while a jumpsuit doesn't bother me, stripping like totally naked to take off the dress, for some reason that's just too much for me because usually the shorts are attached. This tennis dress, the shorts come with it, but they are not attached. They are just separate bike shorts. So much easier to wear. Most of the day I had a Spanx Air Essentials crew neck sweatshirt on top because again, layers. I even brought my J. Crew oversized cashmere scarf for the first part of the morning because it was in the 50s. And then slowly but surely I took all the layers off. But if you are looking for a tennis/golf dress that doesn't have the shorts attached and is just a little bit longer, so like your cheeks are fully covered, even I'd say maybe even it goes to mid-thigh. I found this dress on Amazon. It comes in a bunch of other colors. Highly, highly recommend it. I would say it runs true to size. I got mine in a size small. Then we need to talk about this because it's one of those things that you need to do if you're in Taos, but you need to have a car with four-wheel drive and it cannot have rained. We had heard about this bridge called the John Dunn Bridge. It's a breathtaking location. The pictures don't do it justice. It looked really easy to get to on Apple Maps. What it doesn't tell you is that the road that it's taking you on is a dirt road. You are rural. You have no cell service most of the time when you're in Taos. Now you're on a dirt road that literally hugs the side of a mountain that drops off to a gorge. And you really can't turn around. It's pretty much single lane. By the time you realize what you've gotten yourself into, you just have to keep going. But we made it, and I have to say, it's indescribable how beautiful. And we got there during the golden hour, and the pictures, again, they don't do it justice, but it was so incredibly beautiful there. When I'm in bed trying to fall asleep at night now and I can't, I think about that place. It's so peaceful. It's so, so very beautiful. And again, I will list my outfit from that down in the description box. Day 5 was my absolute favorite day. First of all, I started to feel a lot better. Secondly, we spent the day at the lower altitude. So most of the day we did a float down the Rio Grande River. We used Flung Adventures as our tour guide. You just show up, they bus you down to the spot, they put you in a nice big blow up raft. You've got a guy who just does all the paddling. You just sit there and listen to the stories and look at the beautiful scenery. It was incredible. Again, more active wear. I will say for this, water shoes are essential. The other people on the trip were very impressed with my water shoes. Michael had the same pair, obviously, in the men's sizes. These, again, are from Amazon, and they're great because they look like sneakers, so you can wear them and walk around in them, but then you can also walk right into the river with them, which is what I did. So highly, highly recommend those. And it's just one of those things, they're good to have. You never know when you're gonna need water shoes, honestly. But this place was amazing. Our guide had the most amazing stories. The scenery was incredible. The other couple on our boat were both theater producers from New York on Broadway and off-Broadway shows, so they had a ton of interesting stories. It was just a very interesting day. I saw petroglyphs. I didn't see any animals. I never got to see any bighorn sheep. I'm kind of disappointed, but again, if you love to just look at nature, take the scenic river float. It was so relaxing. It's about 3 to 4 hours, depending on how long you just want to hang out, and because he'll kind of moor the boat on one of the islands and you can walk in the water or swim for a little bit. It was just lovely. And then that evening we came home, we showered, and we went out for Thai food, because when you're in Taos, of course you get Thai food, right? Well, actually this place was fantastic. It's called Sushi Siam, and it was absolutely delicious. I want to look cute, but still want to be comfortable. I was so happy to have an appetite back. So I'll share the outfit here that I was wearing. And again, I'll list it below under day 5, but it was a beautiful day. It was my favorite day. Day 6 is, day 6 and 7 were not the best days. So day 6, Michael had heard we needed to go to this place called the Great Sand Dunes National Park in Colorado. So again, it's like an hour-and-a-half drive up to southern Colorado. And when I say sand dunes, I'm talking like out of Star Wars Tatooine, hundreds of feet up sand dunes. This is gonna be great. We're gonna sled down a sand dune. It's all the fun of sledding without the pain in the you-know-what of like snow sledding. No, okay? First of all, what they don't tell you is you're walking for like a mile from the parking lot to the sand dunes on sand. That is a serious workout. You know what else they don't tell you? You're still at a pretty high elevation. And you're lugging these heavy well, they're not snowboards, they're sleds. Even Michael finally was like, this is hard. We had to take a lot of breaks. I didn't feel that bad because so did everybody else around us. I mean, it was like the great trek. We get to the top of the dunes. I didn't want to do the baby one. We went up high. The first run, I aced it. I did a much better job than Michael. You can go really, really fast. Second run, I got a little cocky. I got a lot cocky. And I'm like, I'm not gonna keep my feet down. I'm gonna put my feet up. I'm gonna fly. I will insert the footage.
Come on, baby. Wow, that's fast. Take it easy. What? Holy cow. Are you okay? I got you on film.
So while that looked pretty horrible. And I'm honestly, knock on wood, really lucky I didn't seriously injure myself. The only thing damaged was still this fingernail, which is just growing out. Luckily, it didn't rip like I thought it did. It really just tore a little bit, like maybe a quarter of an inch right on the top edge of my nail. So I thought I had done a lot more damage. I had sand in every crevice. Every crevice. So would I recommend doing the Great Sand Dunes? Yes. Yes, I would. It's really an experience that is nothing, it's like nothing you're ever gonna do anywhere else. But don't get cocky, especially at our age. Keep your feet down. Don't put your feet on the board. Keep your feet down and your heels dragging. You need some drag. Don't go full speed down that thing. We are too old for such nonsense. I know we had dinner at the hotel restaurant that night. I don't have any memory of what I wore. I took no photos. I was just glad to be alive at that point. I will say that the restaurant at the El Monte Sagrado is beautiful. We sat outside. The service and the food was incredible. Highly recommend. So day 7, our last full day in Taos, was maybe the worst day of my life. I'm being a little dramatic. It was not my best day. So he had planned on renting mountain bikes back in the Taos Ski Valley where we had lunch earlier that week where I got horribly ill, and take those up a mountain, up Wheeler Peak to this beautiful lake where we're gonna pick up a picnic lunch and we're gonna have lunch by the lake. I mean, it sounds great, right? This beautiful lake up in the mountains with like flowers and wildlife. I went up a freaking mountain on a dirt road. After the fact, several people who live in the area are like, oh, we hate even driving up that road. It's scary. When you're on these mountain bikes on this dirt road and it's loose gravel, you feel the bike shift, every rock, all that. And so I kept thinking the bike's gonna fall down and then I'm gonna fall off the mountain and I'm gonna die. That's where my head went. And at this point, I can't breathe. Like I could go maybe 50 feet and then I'd have to stop and take a break. So then I just got off the bike and just kind of walked it up, but these suckers are heavy. So I would say, unless you're really fit, skip the mountain biking. Like it's just, We got to the restaurant area where we thought we were gonna pick up food to go. We ended up just, I'm like, I'm done. It's called the Bavarian Haus. A lot of people recommended it. I know you're watching. I'm not gonna call you out by name. It was not great. But after spending an hour at the Bavarian, just relaxing, like I said, the weather was beautiful and the scenery was beautiful, so it's hard to stay in a bad mood there, right? I was like, you know what, Marnie? You got this far. How hard is it to get down? You can do this. Other people have done this. You can do this. So I did. I got back on the bike and I started riding down, and then I realized that going down is even scarier than going up because you go faster and the bike wobbles a lot. So I did end up getting off the bike, and most of the way down, I walked my bike. And then I'd say about halfway down, we found a new trail that was a little less rocky. And then we found about a quarter of the way down, we found a paved way to go. And I was like, this is awesome, this is fun. So if you can stay on pavement, it's great. And then when we got to the end, Michael's like, don't you feel good that you finished it? And I was like, no, I could have done without it. But there's a little teeny tiny town at the base of the mountain called Arroyo Seco. And actually Julia Roberts has her ranch there. It's where she got married. And I think she still has her home there with her husband. And they have the best ice cream spot. I mean, it was packed at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday. It's called Taos Cow. That ice cream was worth the hell on that mountain, I have to say. It was super, super good. Really, really cute little town. If I had to do the whole thing over again, I would have just stayed in the town and gone shopping at all the little boutiques, had my ice cream, gone back to the hotel. I don't even remember what we did for dinner Friday night because I was so emotionally drained from going up and down that damn mountain. But I did it. And then day 8, we went home, and I have never been so happy to go home in my entire life. I missed my dogs. I was really sick of having a headache all the time. In hindsight, I realized that my altitude sickness was far worse than I thought. I was being stubborn and just like, I'm fine. I'll just fight my way through it. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't be feeling this sick. And looking at some of the other symptoms, I probably should have gone to urgent care, but I'm okay now. It's fine. So day 8 was our travel day back, and again, reached for a repeat travel outfit. It's a tank top and jogger set that I got from Amazon. Super comfortable, pockets. I have a nice kind of rails-inspired shirt from Nordstrom, much lower price point. That shirt actually runs oversized, so don't size up, just get your true size. We did stop at the Hyatt Tamaya Resort just outside Albuquerque on our way back for lunch. We have traveled there twice with our kids and had fantastic vacations there. So we just wanted to go back and kind of revisit, and it is as lovely as I remember it, so I do recommend that. But that was it. I did film a whole video on site at the resort. If you missed it, I'll link it at the end of the video. But that was our full itinerary. Didn't go to as many restaurants as we had planned because like I mentioned about 1,000 times, wasn't feeling all that great. But it was nice to get away from the Texas heat. It was nice to get out of my comfort zone most of the time. And I would absolutely do almost everything again except that mountain biking. No, never. Oh, and you know what else? If you're still here, mountain biking hurts your tush a lot. Like a lot. Even Michael, who never complains about physical discomfort, for days, he was like, my ass is killing me. What is going on? Yeah, so if you're a biker, I don't get it. I don't know why. Why are the seats uncomfortable? Why? I don't get it. Like literally you bruise your tushy bones or something down there. It's very, very uncomfortable. If you have any other questions, please do not hesitate to ask. I know this is a longer video, but I just wanted to get all the things in there. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you to everyone who has voted for me. Thank you to everyone who is going to vote for me. And if you are celebrating tomorrow night, Lashana Tova, Happy New Year. It is Rosh Hashanah starting tomorrow evening at sundown. So Happy New Year to everyone who's celebrating, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.